right. Hey, everyone. We are back. Welcome to the BKBK podcast, where sports and the culture collide and the New York Jets reign supreme. I am your host, Brandon Phillips, and our co-hosts are Kerry Idris Taylor, Brian Taylor, and Captain Kyle McKenna. So, listen, there's a lot going on out there in the world right now, which really fits part of our tagline of, quote, where sports and the culture collide. We have mixed news on the Jets training camp, and we will also talk about the lingering effect of COVID-19 and how that could have on the NFL season. So, guys, let's jump right into it, all right?
Sure.
But actually, you know what? Before we jump into it, we haven't broadcast since, August 2nd. So, first and foremost, hey, we're back. Good seeing you guys, all right? Kyle is over there 3,000 miles away. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The fireplace look, you just gotta light it. You know what I'm saying? I can't
That's
wait till the fall.
Just gotta light it.
I can't wait until the fall because that looks gonna be primo.
This is
it's a gas fireplace too.
He's in Washington State. This is the fall right now.
We're in the middle of it right now. You know what I'm saying?
I could easily put on a hoodie right now and be very comfortable.
Nice.
I was talking on Zoom with somebody the other day, and they're like, "I can't believe that it's August and you're wearing a hoodie." But yeah, that is the Pacific Northwest for you.
Yeah,
little gloomy out today, little gray, but nice.
Nice. So what's up, Idris? How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. Can't
Wait,
complain.
hold on. Your name is Kerry. Why you relax? Your name is Kerry.
You know what? Why you do that?
Why you do that there?
Why you do that? I'm about to take this pencil and put it right between the gap in the front of your teeth. And It wouldn't even touch either tooth.
It's called clearance.
If I had as many sacks as Michael Strahan, then I'd really be feeling myself. But it's all good.
Welcome to the Comedy Store, people. It's amateur night. Here we go.
You're an amateur.
It's called whistling without putting your lips together. That's what that's called.
Relax. You human rodent. I don't want to hear nothing from the human rodent over there, Brian Beaver Taylor.
That's right.
We're going deep into the inside jokes too.
That's right.
You know, somebody said we're getting very inside baseball.
Yeah. Nah.
So yeah, things have been a little crazy in the world, you know, for the past 7 months now.
Yep.
And I guess the first thing that we're talking about today is the reactions from pro sports to recent events in Kenosha, and the things that led up to those events in Kenosha. I don't think that you can really talk about the social unrest that's going on right now without identifying the fact that there's years and years of things that have happened that have led to the moment that we're in right now. And this is something that I used to have a social studies class to talk to every day about. You know, I remember being in Brooklyn Tech talking to my class when the majority of them decided to walk out over gun violence and the Parkland shooting. And having conversations with them about their decisions and the schools, how the school was going to deal with that. And in that situation, those students, they have very little leverage. You know, if the school decided they wanted to suspend them or something from walking out of school, you know, they had very little leverage. Whereas I think that when we talk about NBA players and NFL players, it's the opposite. They have a tremendous amount of leverage. When you can dictate whether a playoff game and all the ad revenue that comes along with a playoff game on TNT or ESPN, when you can dictate that, you have a lot of leverage. So I think that what we're seeing is professional athletes making their voices heard collectively by using the leverage that they have. I'd be interested to see what others think about that.
Yeah,
I think that leverage inspired some of the other sports because you have like a LeBron James. He's probably the most powerful man in sports right now, and he was able to basically get everyone together to boycott playoff games. I mean, like just like what you were saying, Kyle, the ad revenue from playoff games is immense. and then that inspired some of the other players from other sports. Like for football, we're in camp right now. It's practice, and they used that to inspire them to say, "Hey, we're not going to practice today." For the same reasons, and they did that. They executed that. Not every team did, but at least they were given the freedom to do that and to basically evoke their solidarity for what's happening right now. And they were able to do that. And I believe you said off camera, the Titans and some other teams did that as well. And I believe some baseball teams have exercised that as well. So we've never seen this before. This is definitely something that's pretty big. And at least they were, able to basically do that without too much, hoorah about it, whether you agree with it or not. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe in free speech, and I think that what they did was being able to exercise that.
Yeah, and I would add, it's just, going back to George Floyd and everything that was happening there, it was one of the concerns going back to the NBA. The players were concerned about the bubble and the distraction that would cause going back to sports, as opposed to focusing on what was happening with the movement after everything that happened with George Floyd. And so I think that, when the thing happened with Jacob Blake and the shooting that occurred there, it just shocked them into, is this the right thing to be doing, to be playing right now with everything else that's going on? And I think with a lot of the movements that we've had in the past, when you're talking about systemic change, it's going to take a while, and we get distracted, right? We start down a path, and everything is kind of going the way you expect it to go, and then all of a sudden we get distracted, and we don't get the change that we're ultimately looking for. And I think that's what led the NBA down this path. Kudos to the Milwaukee Bucks, who really—
I was just going to say that. I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, absolutely. Kudos to them to really start this whole thing. They were the ones that decided to boycott their playoff game against Orlando, and then it started down the rest of this path where the other NBA teams decided to boycott and not play the games, and then went into other sports like Major League Baseball, and then NHL as well, and NFL as well, and kudos to Kenny Smith for walking off the TNT set, and kind of, listen, I'm not in the mood to really discuss sports and basketball and all those other things, and to stand with his players as being a former player as well. It's a complex issue. It's there's no one right answer per se, but ultimately, just from my chair, just looking for some change here, and I think that's what the players are looking for, especially in the NBA and in some of these other sports leagues.
What I want to say, what I want to bring light to is, even prior to Milwaukee refusing to come onto the floor, because if anybody remembers, Orlando was already warming up. Milwaukee decided they weren't even going to come out to warm up. But prior to that, the night prior, Paul George was in a very candid interview after the win against Dallas, said, quite frankly, I'm going through some things right now. All that's going on, I'm having difficulty dealing with it. And that's on the heels of a win, right?
Mm-hmm.
Understanding what happened in Wisconsin and to George Floyd, and then getting quarantined, for lack of a better term, in the NBA bubble,
Mm-hmm.
being away from his family, just because you're making, a significant amount of money doesn't insulate you from having the same anxieties that, that a lot of African Americans and brown individuals are having at this particular time. So that said, I think, there was a lot of things that were stirring up that this is the culmination of that. And I think a part of it too is that they wanted to understand what they could do to have an impact. And yes, this brings light to it. It highlights, what's going on in our country right now. But they want to have significant change as a result. They want to have concrete initiatives as a result of their temporary strike. And really, what they have is the ability to be in front of the camera on a regular basis.
Sure. Yep.
Right?
Yep.
So, but when you strike, you don't. You're not there. You're not present. So I think, cooler heads prevailed, and they came to the conclusion that we need to be there. We need to be on television, and we need to state our case on a regular basis. So
I don't know, though, Kerry.
That's where the power is.
And again, I'm of the belief that there's no wrong answers here.
Sure.
But sure. The other flip side of the coin is, some of these NBA players were out there protesting too. So now that you're in the bubble, obviously you can't protest because you're in here. It's a different type of protest, right? But you can also, shed light on it by actually being out in the community with the folks that are protesting every day. And that's a different way to kind of look at it as well. And I think some of the players that were there are thinking, why am I here playing basketball? I get that it has the national exposure and that piece of it, but it's a distraction to the movement and everything that's going on. I'd rather be arm in arm and shoulder to shoulder with the other folks that are out there protesting. So that could be just the flip side of the coin. Again, to me, no wrong answers here. It's just how you want to approach it from that perspective.
Right.
I think the jump to go ahead, Kerry.
I mean, you can clearly see this transcended just basketball, although basketball might have initiated it. I mean, if anybody saw the interview with Dominic Smith of the Mets, who, by the way, is my team, the emotion in his voice and the tears that he shed, he's from Oakland. So he's seen a lot growing up. And if you heard the interview with Chris Paul, you understand that, regardless of how you feel, of how anyone feels about what's going on, this is impactful to their lives, regardless of how much they make. So you can't, I know some people have said, well, these guys are making so much money, they can afford to take a day off. Money isn't everything.
No.
It's not the cure-all. Yes, they are comfortable financially, but that doesn't insulate them from the fears and the anxiety that they have from what's going on right now.
I think that I think it's all great points that you guys bring up. I think that you got to recognize the change that has already happened from, like when Colin Kaepernick starts doing what he did to now. And the fact that he completely, lost his job.
Yep.
I mean, it's already been adjudicated in the courts that they conspired to keep him from having a livelihood because of this, and he's been settled out, and I mean all that stuff is sealed up, but the settlement is kind of it's kind of proof of that, without getting into the details of it. But we've gone from that to Black Lives Matter on the basketball court.
Yep.
In the bubble during the game. So a lot of these organizations have kind of seen that they need to get more in tune with the struggles of the people that work for them, and I would say it's more so on the organizational level, like the association or the league, that has had to change course there, whereas clubs have lagged behind. I mean, like the Washington football team is going through a lot of stuff, not just on the stuff with their mascot, but also with their in-house
just ownership.
Yeah.
They have a lot of things to fix, and they took a step forward in hiring a very dynamic young man for the position of president down there. So there's a lot of change that's going on. Is it accelerated at the rate that people want it to be? I think that the walkout is a sign of that it isn't. And I think the NBA, the NBA has a real connection to the George Floyd thing because Steven Jackson was personal friends with George Floyd and was out there out front in the protests and things like that. And I think that the NBA especially has that link there. But Kerry, you bring up all these good points about something that we've been talking about a lot in school lately with just the collection of adverse childhood experiences and where you come from and all these things that make you who you are and make they make up what your fears are and what the things that you're not afraid of. And it's good to point out that people come from different places and they have different mindsets of how this stuff has affected them over the long term. So I see that I think that things have changed. They haven't changed enough. There's stuff still in progress, but I definitely think that we're in a point in time where it's unprecedented, and we're seeing that leverage that the players have up front.
Yeah. You know what? We're seeing some of that, and we're seeing that even the New York Jets recognized it and gave them practice off as well from camp, which is, as us Jet fans, very important to us, and just looking from the outside in, basically if things like this weren't happening and for whatever reason the Jets took a practice day off, I'd be like, what? We've got down receivers. We've got a whole new offensive line that hasn't congealed the right way. So I just wanted to use that to segue into the Jets and what's happening. They took the day off. I'm happy they did that. But overall, looking at camp, if we segue into this next bit of our show, how is the Jets camp doing all around? We're always texting each other day in, day out, week to week, articles and sources that we individually have regarding sports, but especially the Jets. I'm just hearing a lot of ups and then a lot of downs. Nothing is really steady right now. The last thing that I heard is that the Jets offensive line is just starting to get better a little bit, but then I'm hearing that first team offense and first team defense in their first full scrimmage, I believe on Wednesday, they got handled by second team offense and second team defense respectively.
Yep.
So, let's unpack this a little bit more. I said that for you, B. Let's hear about that because I'm hearing certain players are doing well, but it's not as many as I wanted it to be. But then I'm hearing some are just doing terribly and unexpected terribly as well. So, you guys have any more info?
Let me jump in here real quick because I'm the one that's 3,000 miles away. So you guys have the SNYs and the evening news and all this stuff. So you guys have a lot more access to Jet stuff than I have. And I I'll go when I go into the garage to work out. I turn on the TV and I turn on YouTube. I search New York Jets and then I just watch everything that's been posted on the Jets. And a lot of that is the training camp 360.
I bet you do that while you're doing curls, right?
Hitting the heavy bag, getting my frustrations out about the use of offensive players. No, I think that what I get is I get a lot of propaganda thrown at me. Yeah. And I think that this is kind of a comment on what journalism has become in 2020. Whereas we have a lot more op-eds than we do articles that tell us what's going on. To speak to Brandon's point about what is actually going on, we have several beat writers for the Jets that want to tell us their opinions, but and their opinions are very, very based on how they feel about what somebody did or didn't do to them, and you get a lot of that, and you have to sift through that to get to where the real thing is. And I think that the bottom line is we don't know. They have had maybe 5 to 6 padded practices.
Well,
at this point. Nobody's really hit anyone. So this idea of the offense looking bad in the scrimmage and Le'Veon Bell being mad at Adam Gase, and a lot of it's, I think, soap opera crap that some of these op-ed writers, Manish Mehta from the
there it goes.
the Daily News.
We're gonna do a Manish Mehta watch, just like we do an Adam Gase watch for Brandon.
Apparently, I'm not the only one that feels that way, because I read that his credentials were pulled.
Nice.
So hopefully he's just in a one-room apartment with his work desk and his cot on the other side. Just stewing about how the Jets did him wrong. While he texts Jamal Adams, what up,
dog? Well, all right. So listen, let me comment on that just a little bit, Kyle, right? So I get it. I mean, so I think some of the stuff where we talk about Adam Gase, where we talk about the relationships between Adam Gase and some of the players, especially Le'Veon Bell or whatever else, I think a lot of that is drama that they want to, kind of develop or whatever in order to sell papers. But the results of the scrimmage, when you're talking about it, and the second team kind of handling the first team, that any of us that were there that could see what the scrimmage looked like would have been able to say, hey, it actually looked good or it looked bad, right? I mean, if you run a 78-yard touchdown or whatever else, and again, we're not taking them fully to the ground, and some of that is part of that too, right? So I get that, but turnovers, you can't manufacture a turnover. Yeah. You know what I mean? If you drop the football, you drop the football. And the first team offense had like 3 turnovers. One was an interception by Darnold, and 2 were fumbles. One by Crowder, and I forgot what the other person was. That was, and then running on the first team defense. Right, the second team offense running on the first team defense and the 78-yard touchdown and some of these other things that occurred. I think those are just facts, right? I mean, you're just watching the scrimmage as it goes. Now, is that a full game and everybody going 100% full tilt and all of that? No, so I get that. So there's a certain piece of that, but when you think about all the things that have occurred because of the pandemic and the lack of practice time and the fact that you have an offensive line that needs to gel and rookies at wide receiver that haven't been out there besides one day, I think those are the things that are cause for concern for me. Not what Manish Mehta says and what the feelings are in Adam Gase and all that kind of stuff. Those are the things that kind of affect me. And when I look at camp and the fact that we have 2 weeks left until we're playing Buffalo, a team that did they beat us twice? No, we beat them once, but the game really didn't matter at the end of the day. I think it's just it's a cause for concern just from my chair.
Singletary has fumbling issues. I read that on Roto World too.
Sure.
So it doesn't sound like it sounds like a lot. If you read a lot of the other camp stories from other teams, there's a lot of the same type of dialogue. But I think you're right, Brian, where it's like you're talking about primary source stuff. You're talking about this guy, Connor Hughes, going out and saying, hey, the Jets' first offense sucked in the scrimmage. It's a fact.
Right.
You're right. He also wrote an article that said Le'Veon Bell is the 3rd best running back at camp. And he said, I get it from a trusted source, my own 2 eyes.
Right.
He's maybe Le'Veon Bell isn't as good as everybody thinks he is. And maybe we've been talking about this a little bit chatter-wise. We made this trade for
100%. Please, Le'Veon Bell is still the truth. I still believe in him. I think that the big problem is, think about it. We know we've all played football before. 2 out of, and Kyle, you and I played on the next level in college a little bit. And if you don't get enough full padded practices, if it's just like, you're out there in your grays or just in shells, you're not going to really get that, that feeling. And you need that through repetition. These guys have been full pads, I think, just since Wednesday, I believe. And then today's just Saturday. And we're only 2 weeks away from our first full game. And I don't care if you're a professional or whatever. This is football. And you need to have full pads on for a little bit more time to really thump it up a little bit and to get better. And like just going back to last year, excuse me, you would have people, if you're not, playing a full preseason, you're also having people come in, or you're going to their location for scrimmages, full pad scrimmages. You're getting some fights and this and that or whatever, but you're practicing a lot more. We're 2 weeks away. We haven't scrimmaged any other team. We're not playing any preseason games. So, of course, it's not going to be as great as we want it to be visually.
Yeah. So, first of all, that after those couple of coughs, I want to say yuck. So, first of all, let me just say yuck. The second thing is, I was a little offended there because that comment about, playing football in college sounded a little elitist for the Taylors that are on the call here today. You know what I mean? No, just joking. But listen, we're a team. If you look at the Buffalo Bills, look at us. Buffalo Bills made the playoffs last year. They have less players that are coming into being in their roles for the first time. We have a lot of first timers, right? Especially with the offensive line and a couple of other things. So when you're talking about Singletary fumbling, that's the only thing you're hearing out of Buffalo's camp. It's not like, the whole offense sucks or you're starting running back. One thing I would say about Le'Veon Bell with regard to Gase is that when you think about Pittsburgh, Le'Veon was clearly the number one, and they wanted to implement that as a strategy in the offense. He doesn't run like most running backs run, right? He has the hesitation move to start, and then he hits right. But the offensive line was built to make sure that they blocked accordingly. I don't think that Gase feeds into the fact that Le'Veon Bell, has the hesitation. I think he likes running backs that hit the hole quickly, like a Frank Gore, right? And so I think that there's a little bit of friction there, and I think that's what you're seeing. Not necessarily that Le'Veon Bell isn't the truth like he was a couple of years ago, but I don't think the offensive line is blocking two different ways, right? Blocking for the hesitation and blocking for the hit the hole hard. They're blocking like Adam Gase wants them to block, which that's what you're seeing in the results from those two running backs as opposed to Le'Veon Bell. Just my opinion.
I agree with Brian in that aspect, but I think something else is going on too. I think there's a power struggle between Adam Gase and Le'Veon Bell, and I think it's the combination of that. And I think Kyle, you hit it on the head. Maybe Le'Veon Bell is not as good as we think he is, but more importantly, maybe Le'Veon Bell is not as good as Le'Veon Bell thinks he is. And to that end, he's not going to be the Le'Veon Bell of 4 years ago, but he is still a high level football player who can be a slot receiver, who can be a split out receiver, who can be a power I receiver. Running back who can navigate behind the line of scrimmage to hit the hole when necessary. But he's the kind of football player that has to have the ball in his hand consistently over time. And when you hold him out from practices, when he wants to practice, that's a problem.
That's called bad coaching.
I don't disagree with you, Brandon.
Then to add to that, why do you trade for Kalen Baggage too?
That's another thing.
Who's average?
What's going on?
Call the guy Baggage.
He called Kalen Baggage.
Right. How do you pronounce it?
Well, you traded for Adam Gase's Baggage.
Ballage. How do you pronounce it? I'm not trying to.
I like Baggage. I'll keep Baggage on him.
Nah, he's French. He's French. It's Balage.
Balage, like Bellagio. Is that what it is?
Yeah, that's Italian. Bellagio.
I gotta say, as an offensive line coach, you're not going to have an offensive line block one way for one running back and one way for another.
You're not.
Right.
So that's kind of a moot point. I do agree with you, Kerry, that if the thought process is originality and innovation and stuff like that, what I'm taking from what I'm hearing out of camp, at least the primary source material, the press conferences and stuff like that, is we love Frank Gore. Frank Gore is going to get more carries. If Frank Gore gets more carries, I'd like to see Jamison Crowder, Chris Herndon, Le'Veon Bell, and Denzel Mims, or fill in the blank, on the field at the same time.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's something that I think all of us across the board have always desired from our head coach in the very limited amount of time that he's been our head coach. And Brian, to go back to what you were saying about Buffalo, the playoff team, had their starting quarterback for every single game of the season. They should have lost to us the first game.
Yep.
And, like Buffalo, the playoff team, and the Jets, the playoff team, I hate to be like overly, glass half full, but it very well could have been us, if this kid doesn't get mono with the second worst offensive line in the league and a really tremendous defense. So I think that our team has improved all across the board in the weak spots that we had last year, but so are other teams too.
I don't know if I agree with that, man. Look, think about the teams that we played in the second half of 2019 versus the teams we played in the first half of 2019. Before we even started the season, we were like, man, if we end up like 2-6, I think we'd be okay over the first half of the season. Even if Darnold was in there, right? I don't know if our fortune would have been that much better than what it ended up being at the games that he was out. Just my personal opinion.
But would you agree that if we won 2 more games last year, we would have been a playoff team?
Who came in?
And let's also remember we started our
we've been 9-7
winning by beating Dallas, who was a good team, well armed and well equipped, and we beat them, and that kind of started just the confidence building of the Jets and saying, okay, we can stand with some of these teams and potentially win.
I think that Buffalo is a great comparison that Brian makes between the Jets and Buffalo. Buffalo is, if we're racing against each other, Buffalo is ahead of the Jets. So I think that the litmus test for the Jets is going to be, how are you going to play against Buffalo?
Sure.
Not necessarily how you're going to play against Miami or New England, because Miami is arguably behind the Jets in the development of their roster. New England is in flux, but Buffalo is really the team that you're going to judge yourself against this year. So, and it's the first game of the year. Yeah. So you come out and Buffalo is going to have a lot of the same problems going for them that we're going to have as far as the inability to have a lot of practice reps together. There'll be false starts, there'll be holdings, there'll be all these types of things. If we come out and we win this game against Buffalo, it really does set the tone for what the season could be if we stay healthy. The wide receiver position
is a concern.
That's a concern, and the current structure, even like a Chris Hogan, when we signed a Chris Hogan, who looks great, by the way.
Yeah.
We signed a Chris Hogan. He had to stay in quarantine before he could even hit the practice field. So,
by the way, Chris Hogan lives in Huntington.
We got some Long Island guys on there with Van Rotten and Chris Hogan. And
his name Van Rotten or Van Roten?
I don't know.
He's a nasty guard, so I'm gonna call him Van Rotten.
Right. I would love to call him Van Rotten.
And he went to Chaminade, so
I heard.
But listen, we need to get our wide receivers back healthy. We definitely need to get that. What about Marcus May and how great he's looked in camp, right?
Yes,
that's a story that we need to talk about.
And you know what? And the story is he's going to be taking Jamal Adams' position, and then we're going to have Ashton out there in the free. And he's been playing well in free and in strong safety positions.
Yeah, Ashton looks good.
Have you guys watched
absolutely love it. I love it.
Have you guys watched One Jets Drive yet? Number 4. It's the one that just came out. Supposedly it's the whole Ashton Davis one.
Okay, I didn't watch that.
No.
And I don't know if everybody peeped the backflip catching the football.
I saw that. I saw the clip of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
I did. Yeah, that was hot.
Yeah.
This guy looks like, if we're talking about like high end, low end, I think at the low end, he's he's a like a strong safety that's going to play and a safety that's going to play and maybe be in some packages. On the high end, he looks like a Tyrann Mathieu type
guy,
where he like a Swiss Army knife where you're going to be able to put him all over the place, and he could be like a special safety, not in the same mold as Jamal Adams, but more in a flexible nickel corner, like do everything guy. Whereas Marcus May, I think, based on what I'm hearing right now, sign Marcus May, get that done with, and keep him long term, because it sounds like he's, the only gripe with Marcus May is injuries.
But he stayed healthy last year. He was injured in 2018. All of 2019, he was healthy. So, and then the year before that, in 17, he was a rookie. So I mean,
you guys love signing people early, man. I mean, can we just wait? Yeah, I mean, is the money burning a hole in your pocket? Sign. Nah, man, nah. You guys got your checkbook out. You walking around practice with it, man. You know what I mean?
Let's talk quick about the Cardinals checkbook.
Second round choice, so he's only got 4 years. He doesn't have that fifth year, so.
Yeah. I get it.
To listen to what Kyle says, I'm down with that too.
You still got the tag though, baby. I mean, you know what I mean? Even if it comes to that, you still got the tag. But go ahead, Kyle, because I know you got some safety news out there.
I don't think you don't want to put the tag on Marcus May. That would be so much more money than you really have to pay him.
Totally.
Because he's not even in the top 10 range.
I'm saying you try to negotiate with the guy. Listen, let's get through the season first, man, and see what's what. We don't even know if we playing this year or how it's gonna look. The finances and all that kind of stuff. People are gonna be in the stands or not. There's just too much uncertainty out here in order to pay. Listen, Jamal Adams, I was 100% open the checkbook, write a check in order to figure it out and put a number on it. But he's performed. He's been on the field. He did all those things. He's made all pros. All of those things. Marcus May ain't there yet. Before camp, which has only been a week and a half long. But let me finish it out. Before camp, he was there. We're talking about camp has been a week and a half long. Before camp, and you've heard about how well he's played. You weren't trying to sign this dude to a long-term contract. It's been a week and a half, man. Let it bubble a little bit. Let it play out. Let the season happen. That's all I'm saying. Before I'm going to pay the man.
Personally, I was all right with signing him to a long-term contract after we traded Jamal Adams.
Me too.
My whole thing was that you couldn't sign both of them.
Cheaper too. He's going to be cheaper. One, the second-round draft pick. He doesn't have the stats that Jamal Adams had. He's having a good camp, and if we allow him to hit free agency, he's just going to be more expensive. And if we tag him, he's going to be more expensive. We should start our negotiations now, if they haven't started, and see what we can do. Now, I know that there's a threat of not necessarily having a full season, but I mean, we can get cheaper now, though, regardless.
And if Sam balls out, then you're going to have a problem. You know what I'm saying? So, and you're not going to pay Sam right now. I mean, Kyle would, because he said that early on, that he'd pay Sam right now. But, I mean, if Sam balls out, you're going to have to pay him top-notch dollar. We'll all be happy with that, having to pay him whatever. That's fine. But now you've already paid a safety. And so I just feel like, listen, man, with so much uncertainty with the purse strings right now, let's just let things play out, man, and see who we should pay at the end of the season. That's what
I hear you. Why don't we let things a little bit play out with Sam, even though I am with Kyle and signing him this season. I want to see more film on Sam. I want to see more growth on Sam.
Yeah.
But signing a safety, you know what I'm saying? It's not as high as signing a defensive tackle. It's not as high as signing a defensive end. It's basically on the same level as signing an inside linebacker, and
it's getting there though.
Huh?
It's getting there though.
Buddha.
Let's talk about Buddha.
Not for May though. He doesn't have the game tape to show that he earns, Buddha money or Jamal Adams money.
I'm with Brian.
Can I point out something?
A safety right now, and I love May. So. But right now, I don't think it's necessary to approach him in that way right now.
But you guys are acting like we're going to offer him Buddha money. We're not doing that.
No, I'm not saying we're going to offer him Buddha money. But what I'm saying is that increases the ceiling. That increases the floor and the ceiling, for that matter.
Do you guys know how many career interceptions Buddha Baker has?
2.
6.
Brian, you want to weigh in?
4.
0.
Okay.
They just they just made a tackling, and I'll qualify that by saying Buda Baker has the most tackles by a defensive back.
Yeah.
Of all last season. All right, so they hired a tackling. They signed a tackling safety as the highest paid safety currently in the league.
And that's a problem with your front seven. That's a problem with your front seven. Let's see how he does when he plays behind a better front seven.
Well, I beg to differ. I beg to differ on that one.
They have a pretty good front seven.
Right. I mean, the Jets had a pretty good front seven as far as, running the ball. So I don't think it pertains to that.
He's also coming off of a Pro Bowl season. I mean, and is 24 years old. So, we're not talking about Marcus May as a Pro Bowler yet. Let him earn it. That's all I'm saying. I mean, listen, if he ends
Let
up
him stay healthy, let him stay on the field. How about that?
Right, stay on the field.
But last year, bro, he did that last year.
One year out of, so that's 3 years. So now he's going into his fourth season, right? So now going into his third, we were concerned about, can he stay on the field? So I mean,
those concerns were alleviated because he stayed on the field and he had
one season. Yeah. Is that so? Basically, in the first 3 years, he's had one full season. Am I right?
Rookie year,
right.
I think
one full season out of 3. That's not a good percentage. So do it again. That's all I'm saying. Is do it again. If you listen, that's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Do it again, and then his rate goes up. Just
so what? So what?
Then you're gonna want to pay him. Then you don't care what you're paying him.
That's not what our GM is about. Our GM is about paying people what they're worth.
Right. And I'll pay him what he's worth. And if he wants to Buda Baker money, then he could walk. I mean, we could trade him. Whatever.
Pay him what he's worth now.
Exactly.
Pay him what he's worth now, because he's going to be worth more a year from now, and you're going to have to pay that anyway.
You're assuming now. What if he gets injured? What if he gets injured?
The assumption that he's going to be worth more now.
Right, exactly. What if he gets injured?
What if everybody gets injured?
Yeah,
no. But listen, but we're talking about a player. We're talking about a player that has gotten injured 2 out of 3 seasons. It's not like we're talking about anybody. We're talking about an injury-prone player who's only proven it 1 out of 3 years. That would mean you're talking about somebody who's leaning towards getting injured or potentially could get injured.
He didn't miss all of his rookie season.
I'm not saying all of it. But play 16. Play 16.
So let's look at. I'm going to look up how many games he's played.
Okay.
Because I think he's played more than 8 games in both of those seasons that we're talking about. So,
I want to sign people. I'm not saying don't sign people, but sign people that have proven it. I just that's what I'm saying.
Unless you're absolutely great, you know what I'm saying. I would rather spend that type of money, defensive end, or pass rusher type, quarterback, and cornerback.
Right.
All right. So
spend less money on a really good safety. Let's just do it and extend him and extend the life.
I think this conversation is a mute point if we don't know what's in his head.
Word moot.
Why you gotta call him out like that, Mr. Stinkhauser over there?
I hate this Stinkhauser.
I gotta just set the record straight on this game played thing.
Okay.
So 2017, he starts and plays all 16 games.
So that's his rookie year.
His rookie year.
Okay.
2018, he played in 6 games and started 6 games. 2019, he plays in 16 and starts 16. So he had 1 year where he was hurt.
Thank you.
Yeah, so sign the dude at the lowest price you could possibly sign him at, on a 4-year deal that is cap friendly and makes it so that you could cut him in year 4 if you need to.
If he's open to that, and we don't know that.
You never know that.
Sprinkle another $1 million in the signing bonus.
It's funny.
We're negotiating his contract right now with him not present.
I negotiated 1,000 contracts in the simulator over COVID.
Yeah.
I know how this works.
I know how this works.
What about Avery Williamson? We haven't spoken about him either. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Well, before we get to that, we glossed over the fact that our wide receiver depth isn't in existence, right? Do we know how Lawrence Cager and George Campbell is doing?
And Cager's injured too. So
I haven't heard any follow up on that. It said that he came down wrong on his knee after having an unbelievable practice.
Yep.
Every Jet fan in the Twitterverse and the world's largest face group book and all those Jet fan places wants Lawrence Cager to be on the Jets so bad.
Yeah.
It's almost as bad as the Opinion of a Manish Mehta article or Rich Cimini coming out and talking about
why do you say that? I feel the same way about Lawrence Cager.
Because we're part of it. Because we see the potential of a 6'5" Brandon Marshall type receiver joining. We want a 6'5" Wayne Corbett from Georgia. You know what I mean? That's awesome. That would be great.
I just love his last name, man, Cager. I mean, you know what I mean? You talk about Cager. That's
well.
Nice
what about George Campbell from West Virginia?
I haven't heard anything about George Campbell.
Okay.
Yo, listen, the fact that we're signing Dante Moncrief to a contract here just doesn't bode well for.
Did we sign him or we just worked him out?
Signed him,
huh?
Signed him.
All right.
I mean, you have to sign veterans.
You got to sign veterans. Sidney Moncrief was a good center, but I don't think we need to.
I don't have any problem with it. I don't have any problem with them being signees at camp. And if you decide that these guys have come up, developed enough, in the form of Lawrence Cager and George Campbell, then you can always release those guys.
We need the depth at least to practice. So you find and see these veterans, and they're signing for the minimum most probably, especially someone like Moncrief. And we need the heads there because we're totally down.
Yeah.
Braxton Berrios, who I wasn't 100% of a fan of, but I hear that
I've liked him. I
heard that he's having a really good camp.
I've liked him. I thought he was underused last year.
And you know why? And you know what, Kerry? I think that's why I didn't like him, because he was underused. And when you're underused, you're not showing me enough of what you can do. So I didn't see enough from him. So I wasn't giving him much of a chance. But I'm hearing a lot of good things. So I'm willing to open up to him.
Underused.
It's a slot, though. It's a slot.
So what? I like it.
So he's
him.
He's blocked. That's all, because you got Crowder in front of him. So, but we gotta get Perriman back in practice. We gotta get Mims back in practice. That's really at the end of the day. I think if they're there and they're running 100% and they both know and understand the offense, and Darnold has a comfort level with them, I think we'll be good. But
I think I'm most excited to see what Avery Williamson is going to do, and Avery Williams and Bryce Hall.
Yeah.
Bryce Hall's off the COVID now, so he's does that mean he's in shape and ready to practice, or does he have to acclimate?
I think they're still saying the injury is still something that they got to rehab through. So he's not like, hey, let's throw him 100% out there at this point. Not yet.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be 100% effective until next year, but I still want to see what he looks like.
Sure.
He's probably going to be a practice squad guy. If he can't play, then they have this expanded, I think 20-man practice squad now, or 18-person. So he winds up being a practice squad guy.
But don't you have to cut him, and then he passes through waivers, and then you can get in the practice squad? So that's a risk.
I'm not letting that happen.
I don't think that's the way. I don't think that's the way they're doing it. I think that you can have somebody on the practice squad without having to release.
Well, practice squad in general, people can sign off of, right? That's how it used to be in the past, right? So, if Washington wants one of our practice squad guys, you could sign him off. I don't think that they would leave him open for that fifth-round pick.
No,
you're not going to expose him.
You're not going to expose that guy.
No.
They might be able to injury shut him down and put him on the pup.
That makes more sense. That makes more sense.
Yeah. I think that we got to be kind of creative with where we put Chris Herndon, as far as lining him out wide.
Sure.
Possibly. Again, but that's the old argument though. It's like, is Gase going to be creative enough within the system that he's running to do all these things that we want him to do? Because, it's like, it's fine for us to want them to do it, but they have to actually do it. Are we going to tweak me, peek me? Because I have a few.
I'm gonna go there pretty soon. I just want to say one thing. You know, we never really got to finish wrapping up the Le'Veon Bell conversation. I have the ultimate faith in him. You know, it's really about Gase, and just like what you were saying, Kyle, as far as, you know, you were coaching O linemen, and it's not about, you know, having them block differently for different backs. But what it has to do with the system. So when you have a Gase like Bell, a running back like Le'Veon Bell, he seems to me like, and this is what I noticed last season, he wasn't, Gase wasn't in his offensive scheme moving the offensive lineman around enough, meaning no traps, no toss sweeps enough, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
And we have a more athletic offensive line now with Fant, with our center. And then we got the big boy at the left tackle who can run. He ran that 5.1. So let's move the O line around. You know what I mean? And then also let's incorporate more zones so that Le'Veon, with his hesitation, can pick that hole that he sees and bounce right through it. I don't like what Gase is doing as far as the run game or as far as getting Le'Veon the ball in general, because he's just as good as any wide receiver out there. I think one year he had like 85 or 89 catches.
Mm-hmm.
So Gase, it's a coaching thing. You know, scheme up and get this man the ball. He's 28. He was coming in at 227 pounds. He's now in between 210 and 215, looking great, ready to rock. His mental is there, and now you're going to crush his mental with what you're doing. I don't like Gase at all, and please, got to be kidding.
Whether it's a Gase problem, whether it's a Le'Veon Bell problem, or, you know, or not, no matter what your opinion is, an offense is going to be judged on whether it scores points.
Sure.
So I don't care how you do it. I don't care what your philosophy is. Figure out how to take the guys that you have and score points. I'm going to be judged on that as a play caller and as an offensive coordinator. Adam Gase is going to be judged on that. Sean McVay, you know, Shanahan, you name it. Score freaking points, and no one will argue with you. And defenses stop people from scoring points.
How do you score the points? You get it in the hands of your best players, and that's what Gase is not doing.
Well, I guess
we hear you, Brandon, and we agree.
So net, you love Adam Gase. Is that
case?
Is that accurate?
No case for
assessment?
Gase.
Yeah, gotcha.
No case for Gase. He's Fugazi. No case for Gase. He's Fugazi.
Oh boy. So, Kerry, you want to talk about? No rapping, please. Thank you. So, Kerry, you want to talk about Avery Williamson before we went on to Tweak Me, Peek Me?
All right. Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to see him. Next.
I want to too, man. I mean, I was looking forward to him last year. You know, that would have been a nice inside linebacker core. It just didn't happen. So looking forward to his leadership even more than anything else, right? Just to be able to be in there, call the plays and everything on defense, and, you know, pull together some of the younger players and stuff. So I'm looking forward to it. Now they have him running second team, so he's got to earn his way back into being on the first team defense. But I'm looking forward to it.
I'm looking forward to that, and I'm also looking forward to the growth of Quinnen Williams. You know, I love him.
Better grow.
So, yeah, man, I'm looking forward to that kid. I'm hearing that he's having a pretty good camp. But as I said before, get the full pads on. I want to see him rock and roll a little bit.
They dropped those charges?
Huh?
Did they drop those charges?
He's got to go to court, I think, in September.
They didn't drop his charges. They dropped that Oliver's.
Whatever.
Guys, some sad breaking news. Cliff Robinson of the Trailblazers passed away at 53.
Oh, wow.
Just
power forward, right?
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, he's like a tween power forward and center. It depended on what Blazers team you were talking about, I think.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I believe he played at UConn too, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Cliff Robinson.
R.I.P. to Chadwick Boseman as well.
Yeah, R.I.P. Yeah,
great guy. Yeah. I got to meet him once too. I got to meet him on set once, and just a really, really nice dude, man. You know, I got to meet him. So Crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
too much death. One of my good friends and former assistant coach, Sean Knox, passed away a couple weeks ago. Kind of been dealing with that, and it's unfortunate that we have to keep dealing with so much death, either personally or in a like a community sense. Mm-hmm. I think we've talked enough about that today.
Yeah, let's move it on. Let's move it on and let's cue it up. We are, because I know you guys are about to hear this music. Actually, you're hearing it right now.
Not yet.
This is a segment that we love to jump in. It's called Tweak Me or Peak Me. Tweak Me, Peak Me.
That's right.
All right. So let us know what makes you happy. Let us know what makes you not so happy. All right. On this segment of Tweak Me, Peak Me. I've got a couple things in mind, so check it out.
All right, be you live.
All right, I'm live once again. This is Tweak Me, Peak Me, all righty? You know what? I'm gonna start with Tweak Me. What's kind of getting on my nerves right now, all right? And the thing that tweaks me the most right now is I can't play fantasy football this year. You see my face? I can't do it. And I love fantasy football. I love fantasy football. I love playing it. I love dominating these turkeys. Be quiet, Brian Taylor. Don't say nothing.
Loser.
No way. No way. I can't play. I'm just too busy right now, and things have just been popping up, so it's too much. Plus, my 6-month-old beautiful daughter and other things. It would just take away from everything. But next year, I'll be in there like swimwear, ready to dominate once again, giving this turkey Brian Taylor, a hard time. But you know what? Here it is. Brian has won 3 championships, right? I think our group, we've been doing this since, it's been like 17 years maybe?
That I've been crushing you? Yeah, sure.
And, I only have 1 championship, so at least I got a ring. I just got to brush the dust off it a little bit, but I got a ring, Yeah. And
the late 80s, I think it was, right?
But yeah, anyway, I want to,
Kangos and Gumbies were in full effect the last time he won the
And Brandon had hair.
Oh yeah, that's way back.
Yeah, he had a flat top.
St. Nick's was popping.
He actually had a hairline. He had a hairline.
Meet me in the back of Carvel. I'll fight you.
Yeah. Right. Watching St. Elmo's fire. Yeah.
A lot of fights happen behind Carvel, totally. Or on the other side of that fence on High School Drive.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now they lock the fence.
Yeah.
By Homer Claire's house?
Yes, by Homer
Claire.
Claire.
Over there? Yeah. Smoke cigarettes over there.
Evan Gabriel's house?
Yep. Oh my goodness. All right. So that was my tweak. And what piques me, we've been talking about him a lot. So much so we kind of got into it over whether he should be paid now or later. It's Marcus May. He's having a great camp. That name keeps coming up a whole lot. It's having a great camp. And it stands out even more because we got rid of the best safety or strong safety in the league by trading him to Seattle. And it seems like we have not missed a beat. So that right there piques me. And then we have the good camp and the potential that Kyle pointed out with Ashton Davis doing the backflip to catch a ball and all that stuff. He runs like a low 4.3, high 4.2 40 time. He's just incredibly athletic, and he's a ball hawk as well. And he's multi-positional. Free him, strong him, slot him, play him on the edge. So Greg Williams can really dance around with what he has here. And Marcus May can play free or strong as well. So lots of defensive weaponry. And I just want the corners to be established so that the safeties can really play. So that's
Hey, Brandon, can I jump in on something with your Marcus May too? Just like a sidebar. Yeah. If you look at the Jets roster and you look at the rosters of some of these other NFL teams, like draft strategy wise and signings, some of these GMs have a real affinity for certain programs. And I'm talking about the Jets and the Raiders in particular. Take a look at the Jets roster and see how many Florida guys are on our roster. Either from free agent signings or drafting, it's a lot. I think it's almost 6 total. And then you look at the Raiders and the amount of Clemson guys that they have on their team. I think it's indicative of how some of these GMs see these programs, or see like maybe the defenses or the offenses that they come from, or the championship pedigree in Clemson's case. So when you bring up Marcus May in Florida, I noticed that there are a lot of other people that he either played D-back with or from that D-back room in Florida.
And D-back coaching too.
Right.
Yeah. I wonder what team is focused more on, say, Alabama, because
I think that the Patriots might be one, in that they have that relationship between Belichick and Saban. I think it would be a good article for somebody to write, to actually like research and say, each team, who do they have the most people from?
Yeah.
If it's over 5 people, because I think that's indicative of there being a trend there. I'll just pick it up and say my tweak right now. I would say the biggest tweak that I have is that the amount of access that I have to Jets stuff is limited, and I feel like I'm getting a lot of the same like company line press release type stuff, or if you guys have watched this Jets 360, I think they and I don't want to be too judgmental, but I just think they don't put out a great product. I think that they would be very it would serve their purposes well if they hired us to do a podcast for them, because I think the amount of programming they give, bad camera angles, you don't ever really see what's going on. You might see like Sam Darnold warm up in an Indy or something like that. And I'm hoping that tonight they're supposed to have a scrimmage on streamed. I'm hoping that will be a little bit better, but I don't really like it. Kind of tweaks me that I don't get what I kind of need as far as a displaced Jets fan. What I'm very piqued by is the article I think that Brandon was referencing about how, and I think it was fan-sided site that had it, how the offensive line is exceeding expectations up to this point. And if we have a really good offensive line that exceeds expectations, I think that we'll be in pretty good shape. I don't, like we talked about before, I don't take much from how things look in these scrimmages. I think that's it's fodder for newspapers and angles to write about. But and yeah, there are going to be nights where the offense doesn't look good, and there's going to be nights where the defense doesn't look good. But for the most part, I think that if we have an offensive line that's improved by 25%, 40%, it will pay big dividends for us if we can keep our quarterback healthy and get into a rhythm. So very, very piqued by that.
Good.
I would say that I am continually tweaked by this relationship between Gase and the rest of his players. And the fact that this Le'Veon Bell's soap opera is still going on, culminating with trading for another running back that doesn't seem like they're going to have a significant impact on the team. So is the juice worth the squeeze at this point when it comes to this transaction? And, having a player of Le'Veon Bell's skill set, who clearly wants to be here, wants to practice hard. I think Adam Gase is a problem. And I'm hopeful that he isn't, but my radar indicates that he is. That said, what piques me is that we are 15 days away from opening kickoff for the New York Jets.
All right.
And I'm hopeful that this NFL season will go on uninterrupted. I suspect that there will be some type of play interruption, but as long as it doesn't change the fact that we're going to have a Super Bowl, then I'm good.
All right. I guess that's me then. All right. So, yeah. So you stole my peak me. So, but I would say that, but I would say, listen, the NFL is 12 days away, right? Because at this point
NFL,
in time,
not the Jets, the NFL.
Yeah,
yes.
Definitely. I can consume any type of NFL at this point in time. I don't care if there are fans in the seats or not. I mean, just craving for the NFL. To have that satisfied in the next 12 days, man, I'm really looking forward to it. Not sure how the New York Jets are going to look when they come out 15 days from now, based on all accounts, and not having, the prerequisite games and stuff in the preseason, as well as a full training camp. But it is what it is at this point, and I'm ready to view them, right? Take the veil off and see what it looks like. So what piques me, or tweaks me rather, the New York Knicks and their lottery luck, man. I mean, gee whiz. Gee whiz.
Way to inject the podcast with good vibes.
Oh my gosh, man. I mean, well, it's the tweak, right? I mean, at the end of the day, right?
I have a rebuttal to that, but go ahead.
But listen, I mean, so your rebuttal is probably going to say at number 8 you can get a good player, right? Which you can, unless you're the New York Knicks, evidently, over the last couple of years.
In this draft,
I mean, what was Porzingis? Was that 4 or 8?
4.
4?
Yeah, I think it was 4.
4. And listen,
but this draft isn't that draft.
No, it's not. It's not. And listen, feel bad for Porzingis. Another MCL tear. So, so the dude
what?
So
no. It's meniscus.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Meniscus is different. That's different.
Well, whatever. I mean,
it's not in the same leg, and it's not in the same knee.
No, it's not in the same knee. Which, I mean, that's a plus or a minus, depending on how you look at it. But
he's going to have injury problems for the rest of his career because he's 7'3" and he moves that well.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that's the problem.
But listen, I feel encouraged a little bit just by the unknown of this New York Knicks leadership team at this point in time. That at number 8 you can get a good player, right? I've been looking, and some of these players are really good. So let's see where they come up with. But I mean, 13 times in the lottery since 1985 that we've gone backwards in the lottery. I mean, it seems like the Minnesota Timberwolves always end up there, man, or whatever team slide it there. We can't have any luck, really. We couldn't have gone
championships though.
What is that?
Timberwolves don't have a championship.
I'm not saying they have any championships. I'm purely talking about the lottery luck. That's what I'm talking about, right?
When we compare ourselves to the Timberwolves, come on, Brandon. Really?
It's bad. It's bad in the.
No. My point is, you draft the best players you can so that you can get to the finals and potentially win. You know what I'm saying? The Timberwolves really haven't done that much with these superior picks to us. That's what I'm saying.
No.
What about Philly?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
Philly had all those draft picks. They're going to have to completely rebuild around Embiid, who a lot of people say is lazy
and overweight.
Yeah, I love him as a basketball player.
Sure.
When he's in rhythm, but I mean, like the Ben Simmons and folks. I mean, those were high draft picks, and they're not elite. They're not elite talent.
Well, listen, with Philly, they got rid of Jimmy Butler. I mean, it only takes that. You needed the leader, the alpha dog. They had him, traded for him, and then let him walk at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So that in essence is Philly. Because you had him in the building and you let him go. So, I mean, it is what it is at this point. Miami's moving on and Philly is not. So, it is what it is there. But
and look, it's about organizations and how you draft, right?
Right,
so,
right.
But Van Fleet, who's a point guard who the Knicks should be looking to sign as a free agent.
Yep.
Kawhi Leonard, where was Kawhi Leonard picked?
Like 8,
you know what I mean?
7 or 8, yeah.
You guys see how well Trey Burke was playing for Dallas the other day?
Who the Knicks had in their organization.
Yeah.
It's about how you evaluate talent. I want the Knicks to have an organization, a back office that is going to be able to evaluate talent. And that's the end result. Regardless of where they pick in the draft or if they get a higher pick because of where the balls bounce. None of that matters if you pick, somebody like Frank Ntilikina.
Yeah, you got to find a guy like Luka, like that everybody doesn't really necessarily know is going to be that good. He's like a top 3 player in the league right now.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The overtime game that he had the 40-point triple double was a ridiculous, and that's coming off of I'm almost out for the series with an ankle injury.
And Atlanta traded him away. Traded him away.
Mm-hmm. Well, they got
that guy. I mean, he's a transcendent basketball player. He's like
again, they got a good player.
Yeah,
they got a good player. He's a baller, right? But traded him away. So again, it's really to me more about how you evaluate talent and where you pick in this draft, and that's more so in basketball than in football and in baseball.
Yeah.
Or hockey for that.
Did they trade up for Trae Young too? Am I remembering correctly? So they had to give away players in order to not get Luka Doncic?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I thought. But anyway, all right. So listen, that it's again, this might tweak me. You guys can rip it all you want, but at the end of the day,
we didn't mean to.
It's all good. But at the end of the day, that was the rationale for me. I mean, man, can we just have a little bit of luck? That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? Now we got to draft well. And let's see, let's see as far as the general manager and the president and the coach and all that kind of stuff. All of those are important. But, man, can a lot of the way,
they have 2 first-round picks.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Number 28, too, man. I'm looking at the whole thing, man. I'm an avid fan of all of that. But
number 28 in an NBA draft is like 7th round in the
No, it's not.
It's about how you
talent. Come on.
Exactly.
Every 10 years, you get
had Donovan Mitchell.
You get Mitchell Robinson. You get Mitchell Robinson every 10 years.
Because we're picking number 8, that's our highest first round draft pick. Just through the years, and just let me know
the number 8
for or against. All right, where do you want me to start? I'll give you some from the '90s. I'm gonna start with Brian's frat brother.
Where was Donovan Mitchell picked?
Donovan Mitchell, hold on.
Number
Let me
8.
just read up this list. In '96, Kerry Kittles was number 8. That's your frat brother, Brian.
Yep.
'97, Adonal Foyle.
Don't even go that far. Go give me the 2000s.
Right.
Adonal Foyle out of Colgate.
Wow.
University.
2000, Jamal Crawford out of Michigan.
You'll take him.
Now, all right. So now you talking about Kerry Kittles and Jamal Crawford. Those are longtime pros.
Yeah.
That could score the basketball.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You'll take it.
Yeah.
But in 2001, Desangna Diop.
Yeah. He played a couple
came out
years.
of Oak Hill Academy. I think that was what's his name's old school.
Garnett.
That's a bunch of old people's old school.
Yeah.
Kevin Garnett went to Oak Hill. If you're gonna get the throwback jersey, that's the one you're getting.
Keep going.
And didn't Carmelo go there too?
Yeah, I think he did.
Melo, yeah, he did. Melo.
Yep. And then in 2002, Chris Wilcox, out of Maryland.
I liked him though.
Clippers. 2003, T.J. Ford out of Texas. He went to the Bucks.
Yeah.
2004, Rafael Arroyo, whatever, out of BYU.
Out of here, you. Gotcha.
2005, Channing Frye out of Arizona.
You'll take Channing Frye. You take him.
Hold on, and
we did take him.
I
know.
That's the next draft pick.
I know. You take him.
Channing Frye's best quality was his shot blocking ability.
Nah, three-point shot he developed, man. 3-point shot down the stretch.
He developed when he was with the Knicks. He didn't have any 3 points.
Nah.
And then Rudy Gay in 06 out of Connecticut. He went to the Rockets.
You'll take him.
Traded to Memphis Grizzlies.
Yeah.
Rudy Gay is a good player.
Yep.
And then 2007, Brandon Wright out of North Carolina. Charlotte Bobcats. Draft rights traded to Golden State.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. 2008, Joe Alexander out of West Virginia. He went to the Bucks.
I'm not interested in anybody unless they played for their team for at least 5 years after they were drafted.
Joe Alexander was an unbelievable college basketball player.
Yeah, exactly what you said. College, right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Next.
Big East tournament. He dropped like 50 in a game.
Right.
Next.
That sounds like he was playing for CYO. That dude, he had like 50 in a game.
Right.
2009 was Jordan Hill out of Arizona.
Who?
The Knicks.
Who?
Jordan Hill out of Arizona. The Knicks
guy.
Terrible. Come on, Donnie Walsh.
Again,
come on, Donnie Walsh.
Give me somebody at 8 that was stayed with their team for at least 5 years.
I'm looking at him,
Keep
and I'm
going.
not seeing that many.
Keep
All right,
going.
2010, Al Farouk Aminu, Wake Forest. He went to the Clippers.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Keep going.
2011, Brandon Knight out of Kentucky. He went to the Pistons. 2012, Terrence Ross out of Washington. He went to the Raptors.
Yeah, he's all right.
2013, Kenta Vios Caldwell Pope, Georgia. He went to the Pistons.
He plays for the Lakers now.
Yeah, he plays for the Lakers.
And he's a role player. He played for the Nets too, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He was drafted by
to Kerry's point, he's a journeyman.
Next.
He's not somebody that stays with the team.
Next.
2014, Nick Stokes, Michigan, Sacramento Kings. And then 2015, Stanley Johnson, Arizona. He went to the Pistons as well.
Right. Yeah.
2016, Marquise Chris, Washington. Went to the Kings as well. The Kings get a lot of 8th picks. On it.
Yeah.
2017, Frank Ntilikina.
And who was picked after him?
Okay,
Donovan Mitchell.
No, it was Colin Sexton.
Sorry.
Right.
Then Donovan Mitchell.
Which who I wanted, by the way.
And he went to Cleveland.
And he's still with Cleveland.
No, wait. Colin Sexton, didn't he went before Ntilikina, didn't he?
2017 was Frank. How do you pronounce his name?
Ntilikina
out of France. Another French player. The other one fronted on us. Remember that dude?
France.
Frederick Weiss.
Yeah.
France.
Get out of here.
France.
Fronting like you're Frederick Weiss.
Exactly. And then 2018 was Colin Sexton out of Alabama. He went to Cleveland. 2019 was Jason Hayes, Texas. He went to the Pelicans.
He's pretty good.
I don't even know what he's doing.
Pretty good.
You want to fly Pelican with me?
All right, man. Let's write this
All
out.
right. What's your peak me, Brian?
I said it.
Tweet me to death.
12 days. 12 days until the NFL start, man.
Okay.
That was my peak. Gee, man.
On the first day of NFL lead up.
Huh?
My
So he
true
can
love
kick Brandon's
gave
butt
to
in his
me.
fantasy football.
Oh, he's not playing anymore. He gave up. He's saying he doesn't have time, but really just giving up. He's like, listen, man. I mean, I can't catch this dude with 3 rings.
You don't have time. You work from home, fool.
With 3
rings.
Do you have trophies in the house from this?
No, but that's a great idea. I know a trophy maker. Oh yeah, absolutely. And then, you know what? They're going right back there, right under Jeter.
Who came in last in the league?
They're gonna go right under Jeter, right over there. That's where they're going.
You talking about the fantasy?
Oh yeah.
The
Fantasy Cups. I'm gonna
last.
It's probably Tehran.
So Tehran. So
he stays losing.
The loser needs to get a neck tattoo.
Oh damn!
Of what?
I suck at fantasy football.
And you can just fill it up too. You can just fill it up. Yeah.
Shout out to Tehran Mossy.
Shout out to Tehran. I hit him up. We were chit-chatting yesterday. He just had his birthday on the 27th.
Shout out to Tehran Mossy, second best linebacker in Baldwin.
Folks, they've had this rivalry from day 2. I'm not going to say day 1. Something changed on day 2, and then they
not second best linebacker in the history of ball and football. Second best on the 1991 team.
Yeah.
Let's be clear, because Brandon Moore was, played for Oklahoma and then the 49ers had a pretty good NFL career. He's probably the best linebacker that ever played at Baldwin.
No, come on, Kyle. You're better than him. What are you talking about?
No. I mean, it's all relative, but
Kyle, there is strength and humility. I love what you just did.
You're not better than him? You weren't better than him?
Well, I'm better than Tehran.
Kyle, you know what?
I'm better than Tehran.
I'm going to save this whole thing and read the outro. Here we go. Thanks for watching another episode of the BKBK podcast. We want to be able to keep bringing you the latest news and viewpoints of where sports and the culture collide, and the New York Jets reign supreme. So keep watching. You can find us on Facebook on our BKBK podcast fan page, Twitter on @BKBK podcast, Instagram @BKBK podcast, as well as on YouTube. When you're on YouTube, just type in BKBK podcast. Please, guys, hit the like and the subscribe button to show the love. And if you can't watch us, you can just listen to us on iTunes. Go to bkbkpodcast.podomatic.com. That's it. Let's go. Let's go Jets. Let's go Baldwin Bruins. All righty. And BKBK. A couple
of Baldwin Bruin things to shout out. Ricky Manigault has a movie coming out.
Right. A for Alpha.
A for Alpha. I don't know where it's going to be shown, but for those of you who are Baldwin football fans know that Ricky Manigault is one of the best running backs to play at the school. Then played Division III ball, I think. Kerry, maybe you know the answer to this question. Gettysburg, maybe.
That's in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, one of those schools. But Ricky Manigault was a good player. The other thing too that you guys might not know is that this guy Aljamain Sterling from the UFC is one of the assistant wrestling coaches or the head wrestling. I think might be the head wrestling coach right now at Baldwin High School.
He came up from Uniondale, and he is part of the Longo Weidman team in Garden City, where they produce champions. So yeah, he's part of them, and he's a good.
Shout out to Chris Weidman.
Yeah, man.
Just wanted to add that in there because I learned that on Twitter this week. Things I learned on Twitter this week.
Yeah, all good. So man, we're gonna wind this one down and out. Okay, so let's go Bruins, let's go BKBK, let's go Jets. Here we go, baby.